I'm Brad Pitt from Metal Roofing Online. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install the adjustable box gutter brackets. Now I've built this structure here to do lots of demo videos for you guys. I'm going to be doing the box gutter brackets, then I'm going to put a corrugated sheet on top of the box gutter brackets, then I'm going to put the box gutter in, I'm going to put a sump here and a rain head down that end. Then I'm going to lay a clip block roof on top of here, show you how to put all the aprons around the edges and the parapet capping across the top there. So these box gutter brackets, we sell these in 3 different adjustable sizes. The one I'm going to be using today is the 250mm to 400mm adjustable box gutter bracket. The next size up from that is the 400mm to 650mm adjustable bracket. And the biggest one we sell is 650mm to 1 meter. Okay, the amount of fall that you put on a box gutter, the minimum requirement is 1 in 200, which is 10 millimeters over 2 meters. I actually prefer to give it a little bit more fall than that, because you want the water to be flowing. You don't want any water sitting and pooling in the box gutter. So it's probably best to give it about 1 in 100, which is 10 mil of fall over 1 meter. Now these box gutter brackets work best if you keep them roughly 500 mil apart. If you have got quite a wide box gutter, then it's probably best that you even keep them in a little bit closer, because they need to be able to support people walking in the box gutter. And if it gets blocked up, they need to be able to support quite a lot of weight with the water. Okay, now what I've done to make it easy for myself is I've set a string line up already, perfectly level on the inside here. I've come down 100mm from the top of the batten to this string line, and I've run it perfectly level. Now that I've run the string line perfectly level, all I need to do now is decide where I want my high point and where I want my low points. In this demonstration video, I'm actually going to be putting a sump here and a rain head down that end. On a normal application of something which is only 5 meters wide, as this is, you would only need to put 1 rain head in. So you would put your high point at one end, and then you would run the low point straight out the end of the building into the rain head that you're doing. But because this is a demonstration video, I want to show you guys how to do a sump as well. So let's pretend this building's a lot bigger than it is. I'm going to have a high point running down to a low point, the sump. Then I'm going to have that low point running up to another high point, and then that high point going down to the low point straight out the end there where the rain head's going to be. The screws that you need to use for the box gutter brackets to install them, because I'm screwing into timber here, all I really need to use are these 12 by 25s. Now I would use 3 on each side. If I was fixing into a steel purlin on this side, if this was an industrial job and you had a steel purlin here, you just need these 10 by 16s steel fixed screws, and you need about 4 of them in each side. And if this side here was a concrete tilt panel, as is most applications on a factory job, you would need these nylon anchors. So you need your hammer drill into the wall and 4 of these nylon anchors into each side. Now the minimum allowable height for a box gutter is 75mm. So just make sure when you are doing, especially your high points in the box gutter, that you don't make that the smallest part of the box gutter any lower than 75mm. I prefer to keep it about 85mm deep, so that way you're not getting too close to the minimums. You don't want to be too close to the minimum allowable sizes. Also on a domestic building, as this is, whether it's a house or a shed or something like that, or a pergola, and you're doing a box gutter, the minimum you're allowed to make it wide is 200mm. So it's best to go a little bit wider than that because 200 is the minimum. On a factory job, in an industrial or commercial job, the minimum width you're allowed to have is 300 mil. So best if you go a little bit wider than that. Okay, so down this end, I'm going to have a high point because my sump is going to be just here. So I'm going to come up above this string line that I've made here, which is 100 mil down. I'm going to come up above that 5 mil for my high point.
Okay.
And when I get to this point here where I'm going to put the sump, I'm going to come down below my string line 10 mil. Now you want both sides of your sump to be perfectly level. So this side I'm going to come down 10 mil also. And then I've got a high point, which is here. I'm going to come up above my string line 5 mil again. Which is running down to my low point down this end where I'm going to have the rain head. I'm going to run the box gutter straight out the wall there. So this distance here is a little bit further, so I'm going to come down that side about 20 mil below my string line. And as I said before, the whole idea is to create 10 mil of fall per 1 metre. Now these box gutter brackets that are adjustable, hopefully the width that you've got the box gutter set at here is fairly standard the whole way along. You don't want this timber or that side creeping in, because then you're going to have to adjust it as you go. You want it perfectly straight like I've made this one. And I have made this one 300 mil the whole way, the distance. So with my box gutter brackets, it's probably best if I go a little bit smaller than that, because I don't want to try and squeeze them in each time and find that it's too tight. So I'm going to set these box gutter brackets at 295 mil. So I've got 5 mil of play when I'm trying to put them in. Once you've got this box gutter bracket set up in the right position, all you need to do is put a steel fixed screw through the side there to hold it. Now that I've marked all my high points and low points, I'm going to put a bugle screw in all those spots where I've marked them out so that I can attach my chalk line. Because I'm doing it on my own, I need an attachment for the chalk line so I can chalk all the lines so I know where these box gutter brackets go and I know that I've got the fall right. If you had another person with you, you wouldn't need to put these small screws in. You just get them to hold the other end of the chalk line on the line that you've made. Okay, now that I've got all those in place, I can take my string line down that I set up at the start, and I can start chalking out the lines that I need to do. Okay, so this is my first section here. Okay, now that I've set the fall that I require on all of this, I've already marked out where I want to put the box gutter brackets. I've marked out on the timber here with the crosses. So they're roughly, as I said at the start, they're roughly 500 mil apart. You want to space them evenly. So if it doesn't work out perfectly to 500, then either bring it in a little bit or stretch them out a little bit. So my first one goes at the end here. Basically, where I've set the chalk line mark up, I basically want to level it up with the top of the box gutter bracket there. That's my point that I'm leveling it to. So you just want to do one side for now, and then you come back afterwards and do the other side. where I've got my high point here, I'm actually going to put 2 box gutter brackets in, just because it'll be a little bit easier, because I don't really want to lap the corrugated iron that I'm going to sit on top of here. I want to just butt it up to each other so that I have got a perfectly high point. If you do start lapping the sheet at a high point like that, it's going to cause a bit of a curve, whereas you want it to come to an actual point where you've lapped the 2 bits of corrugated, because when you put the box gutter on top, it's going to be important. Okay, now that I've set the fall on all these and screwed in the one side of the box gutter bracket, I've got to go back and screw the other side in. To do that, you basically just need a small level and place that on top there. Make sure you've got the box gutter bracket perfectly level, and make sure it's not twisted at all. That's important too. Make sure it's perfectly straight and nice and level. Once you've got that in position, then you just need to put your screws on this side as well. With this side that you've got the leftover, because they do put plenty of length in these box gutter brackets, you basically just need to bend it over the top there, and then you can either bend it down, but if you've got a truss in the way like I have here, just cut that piece off and bend that down around there like that, and you can put another screw through the back of it. This bracket here is just creeping up. Because I've got my high point here, this side's going to be a bit long, so just trim that off as well, because you don't want that sticking up above the parapet. And before I put the corrugated iron on top of here, I'll just explain to you again what I have done. I've got a high point down this end. I run it down to my low point where I'm going to put the sump here. Right here is where I'm going to put the sump. Then I've run it up to a high point again here, so that all the water is coming into that sump there. And then this high point also runs down to a low point there, down that end, which is going to be where the rain head is. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to cut the corrugated iron to sit on top of these box gutter brackets to give the box gutter a platform to sit on. The width that I'm going to make it, the width of my box gutter brackets, if you remember at the start, I made them 295 mil. So that my corrugated iron that I put on top of there is not too tight, I might make that slightly smaller again. I might make the corrugated iron 290 mil so that it sits in there without making it too tight. With the sump section here, what I need to do is my corrugated iron will touch this wall because that's a high point. So I'm going to just go to the inside of this wall here and then to the inside edge of my sump here. So that's 1110. I'll just write that down so I don't forget. 1110 mil. Now with my high point section here, I'm going to go to the center of that and then to the edge of my sump again, which is 1.60 meters. And my last section here of the corrugated iron that I need will go right to the end there and then stop in the center of this high point here, which is 23.15. One thing I've just noticed that I'm going to have to do down this end, because my box cutter is running straight out this wall here, this part of the timber of the wall here is going to get in my way, so I'm going to have to cut that out with my saw so that I can get the box cutter straight out the wall there. Now that I've cut the corrugated iron to the sizes that I require, I simply lay the corrugated on top of the box gutter brackets, and I'll be fixing 2 screws through each section of the box gutter bracket. I'll need the 10 by 16 steel fixed screws to go straight through the bottom of the corrugated and into the box gutter bracket. Might make it easier now that I've got these in place if I jump up the top here, that way I can get a bit more force down with the drill. Okay, and there you have it. So, although you can use timber noggins to do exactly the same thing as what I've done there, these adjustable box cutter brackets are a great alternative and quite easy to work with. when you're trying to create the fall for your box gutter. Yeah, I hope this has helped you out in the project that you're going to undertake. I'm Darren from Metal Roofing Online. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Thank you.